interesting point. You're talking about Vince McMahon, right? WWE.
Yes.
So WWF, which turned into WWE, ended up later, 20 years later, combining with UFC. But that was the original organization trying to kill the UFC.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that for us?
Because there's only so much money available from television people on pay-per-view, and they held a strong spot in it. They whether it was 10% or 20% of the total take on pay-per-view for the year, the WWE was taking a huge percentage of that, as was professional boxing. And then all of a sudden this new sport comes in that the rules are kind of questionable. They're trying to keep it out, and it got 300,000-400,000 buys. At that point, people were like, "Whoa, this is competitive. We got to get these guys out." And they got John McCain, I believe he was the governor of Arizona at the time, to get behind them on a smear campaign they called mixed martial arts human cockfight.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah.
Wait, did that ever bother you?
No, it didn't bother me because I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't like that. I always thought that was a pretty safe sport because I always came to the sport as a brawler because I grew up fighting on the streets of Memphis, and I thought this was pretty safe.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. On the street, a guy gets knocked down. Okay, what stops anybody from laying the boots to them at that point?
Nothing.
Once you get dropped, you might get a 1-2 and somebody rips you off. But once you can't defend yourself in this sport, you only take a limited amount of trauma. Even in boxing, when a guy gets dropped in boxing and he has a concussion and it's obvious, and he gets up and he holds on to make it through another round, he might fight another 25 or 30 minutes that night. He might take another 200-300 punches to the head after he's already been concussed. In MMA, we let it play out because it continues to play out, and it may look more brutal. But in the end, a guy with a concussion taking 2 or 3 punches compared to a guy that's taking 200 or 300 punches,